I'm the Honest Coach. I coach girls on going from being nice to becoming bewitches in order to gain control over their life circumstances and relationships with men. You know, I'm always standing in a different place. I'm always rearranging my rooms. Uh, so I've tried a few different things. I've tried coming here and making short videos, and then yesterday I tried making like a scripted template post just to see how they landed. And I've come to the conclusion that I just want to go back to it feeling the way I liked it feeling, which is I just say whatever is on my mind pertaining to the Bewitch method that I teach every day. So there's a few topics that are going to be clumped into this message. Again, if you're new to my content, all of my content is geared towards girls that suffer from what I identify as a nice girl complex, where they push their own needs aside and they chase after men. And I help them correct this by building a new strategy of connecting with themselves by how they want to feel and moving in that direction. So here's the topics for today. Uh, a lot of times we feel like the timing is not right. There's something that we want to do, but we don't feel like we're ready or we don't feel like it's the right time. And according to the Bewitch method, it's not true. You just don't feel comfortable. You don't feel the way you want to feel approaching whatever it is. So instead, we're not going to wait for the right timing or wait to feel right. We're just going to ask our nice girl, we're going to ask ourselves, hey, how do you want to feel while you do this? She's going to tell you how she wants to feel. And then that's how you do it. It's how I've showed up for this content every single day. I just want to talk to my girls. And it's turned into something where I'm doing one on one sessions and I'm writing content and I'm coming here and talking to my girls. It's really changed my life in a lot of ways. And so that's how I've done it. It's like, well, how do I want to feel? And I used to have another business. I did a whole career in a profession, and then I was going to start my own coaching business doing that. And it just always fell flat, and I never felt like I was getting where I wanted to go until I finally sat down and said, I don't like the way it makes me feel. I've done it this whole time, and I've never liked the way it's made me feel. This is what I want to do. I like the way this makes me feel. And so it really is a strategy that works in all kinds of areas, which makes sense because the core of your injury, if you have a nice girl complex, has nothing to do with a man or romantic relationships. That's just where your attention is. The core of it is you never connect with yourself. And so life is a struggle because you're never connected with what you really want. And when you start showing up and doing things the way you want to do them, it's so rewarding. And the average person who comes from a healthy childhood has those parts of themselves. They didn't get conditioned to abandon themselves in order to survive. And so that's what we're reversing, and we're trying to do it in a soft way, in a gentle way, in a loving way. On top of that, we want to know how we want to be treated. Well, it's one thing to know that you're not enjoying the way that someone's treating you, but how do you want to be treated? So I say often the men that you're going to be attracted to from a nice girl complex are allergic to closeness. It has nothing to do with you. We can also reframe it like this: they experience love as abuse. You are the opposite of that. You experience abuse as love. And so that's what we're going to be reversing. We're not going to be putting ourselves in situations where we're not being treated in a kind way, in a humane manner. And we have to recognize that. And we have to learn to set those boundaries. And so that's what my work is here to do. So you have to discover how it is you like to be treated. Well, here's one formula that I use. I tell you, I always do what works, what doesn't work. I'm very cut and dry. I like to look at things like an engineer. This is another formula I like to use when I'm getting in contact with myself. What makes me comfortable, what makes me uncomfortable. It's that simple. Uh, I know what makes me uncomfortable, so I'm not going to do it. Well, let's learn what makes me comfortable. And then maybe I'll do some things that I need to do or want to do because I'm comfortable doing them. Well, you never got anyone to help you feel comfortable. You were pushed on your own. You were totally abandoned. In some cases, you were annihilated. And this is by the adults in your life that you were depending on. So when you look at the frame of that, you understand, oh, this is about really finally loving myself. You've lived your whole life never being loved. So now you're going to learn how to love yourself. Now that you know how to love yourself, you know how to treat yourself, you know how to tell other people to treat you. And you don't accept stuff that doesn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Bewitch. It works. So that's that topic. And then I wanted to touch briefly, I've said this in earlier videos, it's very important that I retouch this with my girls. When you grieve the loss of him, when you grieve the loss of the person who is abandoning you, instead of abandoning yourself and chasing, you say, I'm choosing me and I'm going to let go of them. You will grieve them. Grief will come up. This is a grief complex. You have a nice girl complex because that is your subconscious or unconscious strategy to not feel abandoned. Is like, okay, well, I'll just stop being all these parts of me and then you won't abandon me. And that's where the idea of breadcrumbing comes along. It's like, no, you're doing it to yourself. You can choose you and you can say like, F you. F you. You don't want to treat me the way. I had to edit something out. So you can say to them like, oh, F you, you know? You want to be an a-hole? You don't want to treat me the way I want to be treated? Who needs you? I'll choose me. Like, who needs you? I'll choose me. And it's a strategy that works. And then the thing is, you're going to grieve the loss of them. You're going to cry, and you're going to cry hard. Because that's what you're trying to avoid by chasing them. But that's good, because grief will put you in reality. Like, right now, you're not in reality. Pushing yourself aside and chasing after someone to try and survive or try and feel safe or try and feel like yourself again, it's not reality. Reality is letting go of other people, connecting with yourself. That's reality. And once you grieve the loss of them, you're in reality. And I always say, once you're in reality, things are really not that complicated. They're very complicated when you're in a nice girl complex. They're really not that complicated. Yes, you have to work hard. Yes, you have to be consistent. Yes, you have to be reliable for yourself. You have to be able to depend on yourself. All this time you haven't. So this part of you doesn't even trust you because, yeah, you throw her under the bus every time and chase after something. So now you're not doing that. You're showing her, hey, I'm going to be these qualities for you. And in a one-on-one, we really develop specifically for you that strategy, and it works. It really works. It's not about right or wrong or good or bad. It's like once we identify the qualities and you implement them, your life works. So, where was I? I gotta gather my thoughts. So all of this really is about you learning how to get in communication with this part of yourself and live your life serving her and taking care of her and making sure she gets everything she needed. And as a result, you will discover you are softness. As a result, you will discover we're just meant to watch what he's doing and not what he's feeling. It's supposed to be about your feelings. It's not supposed to be about him. As a result, we recognize that the more attention we put on ourselves, the more men that are allergic to closeness will be comfortable pulling into us. And that even if we don't choose a relationship with them, that's very soothing to your nice girl that she still has communication with someone that she admires. Like, it's just, it works in all these ways. So, once you grieve the loss of them in that way, you know, I love you, but you're not making me feel the way I want to feel, so I'm going to go in this direction. You'll be in reality and things become a lot easier. So this is my message for the day. I may do more, but I want to go back to just doing these. I do one-on-ones on a daily basis. You can click the link in my bio. I have a book coming out very soon. I'm really excited about it. I'm so grateful for this platform, and I'm so grateful for all of my girls that have connected with this. Let's keep going. Blessed be.